Hello again. I've been. Thank you for instructing me about the sounds, and I hope that this will be a better video. And I'm thinking that now I will show the first battles that Rome had against Carthage, and it's in Sicily. And I'm controlling the Carthaginians, and he has his Roman army. So now we will the first battle for maybe I think that I had my battle like in a siege battle before he did this Carthage battle, but I think I will like alternate like first battle and then my second battle, his second, the third battle, and so on, so that it will be like an even. So we can like see both me playing and him playing, and we have to improvise. Now this, and you can see Carthage AI army, main core hoplites, light cavalry, some heavier cavalry, and some swordsmen, and some club, or yeah, the Libyan infantrymen, and these hoplite units, and the javelin men. Because that javelin man can break up the hoplites, and then the swordsman is going to can use the gap and get around and demoralize me. So this is not an army that I picked, of course. This is the AI army, Libyan infantry. So I improvised up a formation of having the one unit of the Libyan infantry up front, because they're basically fodder. They are really crappy. They're not really very good at all. They're more numbers. So I'm having them up front, hoping to get a pillar fodder, use them as precursor fodder, and hopefully draw in bait some javelins as well to protect against my hoplites. My hoplites are like the hoplites are the core, and then of course I have swords for the flanks initially. And since he's on this giant hill, I figured that I want to use this woods march up this way because of the woods, and I'm hoping that the woods will give me some protection against his javelins. He also has two archers, so it will be a bit of an archery duel first between my crappy Libyan archers and his Sardinian archers. And I did expect the Sardinian archers to beat mine, but I'm hoping to draw in arrows, so at least, and then just advance meanwhile. I can't be stationary here, sit here whilst only the archers doing all the dueling. I sort of have to advance meanwhile, but I'm hoping that this unit will bait the precursors of the melee infantry. Of course, I'm thinking, okay, hoplite center, and he is bringing his swordsman to the center, and that's a very good counter to having against the hoplite line, because he can decimate me, and it's rather predictable. And he has like spears in his flanks with the principes, and then he has some Tarentine colonists, which is not. They have numbers and light. That's precisely what he needs, for protecting his rear and to assist his cavalry. I'm not really confident about these cavalry units, but so I'm just keeping the cavalry in reserve. The first thing I see though is that he has his Sardinian archers, and they have 8 armor, and they are also have a slightly higher ground. But the first volley hits these, and it's actually rather devastating. Let's see if the... Yes, he hurled his precursors here. That killed quite a lot of them, and it is still shooting these guys. If I got a bit slightly closer, maybe he would have hurled his javelins, but he doesn't seem to be falling for it. So now I have this... now the archery duel has begun. And I'm generally quite like, since this is not really my army, right? I don't really have to care about the casualties, but I want to make him suffer as much as possible so that he has to replenish them. But so far in the archery duel, well, I have lost more as I expected to do. But apparently, or no, it's actually rather... I think it's rather even. but I expect him to win as he has slightly better morale and armor as well, so I expected his archers to do better. But it turned out they did not really do that, so I don't exactly know why these... like I had ordered them to hurl their precursors. I wanted to exploit the fact that they have hurled the precursors, but they did not. So these guys were a bit overly eager to get, you know, engaged with their Roman adversaries. So the first time I was like, okay, I'm going to use these lights to, you know, start tiring him out or something, or bait volleys, or trying, you know, I don't want to since these guys don't have a precursors. So these guys are primarily going to, or best utilized to attacking javelin men or something due to their speed. They can't stand up to Principes or Brutian infantry because Brutian infantry has armor. So like now we're both reduced to like one archery left, but he has more numbers than me. So, but I'm still thinking of how should I do this, because I'm still very much aware of his javelins, and he has the protection of the spears, so to protect his javelins and protect his rear. So as long as it goes frontally and he can make a breach, then he should have an easier time. And he also has a phalanx of his own in the Theorii. Rather tricky. But at least, like, these archers are at the very least baiting arrows from these guys, so that these guys are not hitting my lighter infantry. So that's good, at the very least. And I make one charge here because I'm hoping, but if it turns out he has not his javelins that fire at will. So that's very good of him. So I make like one charge and then I run away because I'm hoping, and now he actually hurls javelins at this unit. And that's beneficial for me. Disengage! Of course this unit is devastated by the javelins, but at least that's one volley less against for the more valuable troops. And these men did not rout, so they can still be used. Advance at speed! Back! Withdraw! My poor Libyans. My Libyan archers. No, don't you rout. Warriors of Carthage! But now I don't really have missile troops. Forever loyal. So of course I'm not going to like let him as you say, you know, shoot at me and I will just stand here like a fool. No, I have to advance, but I'm thinking of how should I do this, because he has his javelin pens ready for my hoplites. So how should I do this? But I figure that, well, swordsmen are vulnerable cavalry and he has his cavalry ready, and Theorii also to assist. So maybe I should do swordsman center and then have the hoplites. But I'm still, you know, I'm still going to utilize every archer that I am getting, you know, that I have available. But so far he's not really using it. I think he's okay. This unit can still shoot and is shooting my hoplites. That's why I have my hoplites in a phalanx still, because it gives them slightly more armor. Not a lot, but slightly, and that's quite important, because enemy in the woods, you know. So, yes. So now I'm moving my goals, and I also have a Scutari. And the Scutari is my more formidable swords unit in this army. The Celtic mercenaries, they are readily available, but they're not really that good after the charge. They're like mediocre. Somewhat like my Greek infantry, but without the extra precursors. Slightly more armor, slightly more morale, but in the end, not really. But they're good axemen. Gives good shot. Now he comes to harass my cavalry. So he wants to utilize his javelin, weaken me up, and then of course slam into my rears. So right now, so I'm being very moving up to dodge his javelins of javelin cavalry. Yay! I shattered one archer. But of course he's going to shoot with his if he can. No, it turns out he's out of ammunition, and I still have ammo. But I figure I keep shooting at these guys because I don't want them to. I do not want them to like be, if I lose this one, I want the second Carthaginian army to go follow up to finish off this army.
As you command.
So now I'm bringing in my swordsmen. And I'm not sure why they did not charge, but I'm attacking here. Again, it's gonna be an uphill battle. But now my hoplites are moving up. This is quite good for me also, that he's chucking javelins at the Gallic mercenary warband instead of my hoplites. As the hoplites are, very formidable frontally, so as long as I don't screw up, I should have an advantage against this. He goes into discipline, and this is a mistake. A mistake that I've used, taken advantage of in many battles. I noticed that at least. That this guy always go into the discipline formation, as I have done also, and I usually do. But the rule is you do not make a discipline formation against a phalanx. You use them against non-formation or another defensive formation, not against an actual. But he's doing good damage to these hoplites here. But like again, it's all about having a reserve. And I do have reserves of the Gallic mercenary warbands because I did not let them. And he's out of ammunition, so he's hurling out his. He's hurling in his archers, and that's very good for me. And swapping out my lighter troops. You see, they have lost 15 men and did not do anything. And I have a sacred band here. And I do misuse my sacred band here, as I'm not putting them into a phalanx immediately. So I'm letting them lose some men. But these guys are in a phalanx, and I am clicking at attack orders. So these guys, I'm expecting, it will take some time, but I'm expecting them to, I will slowly beat out this infantry. And as I beat up his infantry, I am like perfectly happy in if his cavalry gets away, if I would let them, but of course I'm not going to let them get away. If I can kill this cavalry also, I would be very happy about that, because that's generally like elite population. Of course I want to kill his elites, even though Rome later on gets their gets to use their third population as main fighting infantry, and that makes them much more easy to replenish compared to every other else. So now we're going to have a big cavalry commitment, and it says even, but he has better men, but he's not moving his cavalry, so I get a new charge with my heavier cavalry. And these Peso Bretoi is now routing. They have done a number, but again, I guess mostly against worse infantry. So yeah. Never say just look at the kills and say, oh wow, this unit is so good. It depends on what it's fought. So we will see here.
Live to fight another day.
But if I route this, I have a gap that I can use to I wish I could paint, but I want to use this gap here as it's lots of javelin here, right? And I want to damage as many of these javelins as possible. And apparently I'm winning it very well against this one, but even here. So the cavalry wise it's rather easy. I don't know. I don't exactly know where the dogs went. But anyway, I'm attacking this Theorii with my sacred band, and it's a rather bloody contest. And now I made a breach here. And I'm attacking with my Scutari into this gap. Or I'm attacking this unit here, so they like my Celtic warband are like rushing in here. I want to like make more morale effects. So he's sending in his cavalry, and he has maybe... Yes, he's sending his dogs and his equites. So I'm bleeding them rather bad, heavily. And now this light Libyan came back from a routing, and it's gonna make a rear charge against these guys. And I'm hoping that it will... Oh, and he's sending in a spear unit here. But my main focus is really to win. I'm just trying to cause him as many casualties as possible. And I'm using this Gallic mercenary warband to like protect, draw, or I'm at least trying to protect my hoplites rear so they don't get flanked. And I'm perfectly happy, like the cavalry is like losing, but again, he has better cavalry than me here in this battle. But the hoplites have done well. Libyan infantry has done awful, but at least they're, helping. So he is losing his core of better infantry.
Make them bleed! Break them! Cut them down!
Let's see. Oh, my sacred band hoplites, they routed. Hopefully they come back. So I'm still fighting uphill, and I'm clicking uphill, just charging and hoping to kill off any flanking soldiers that gets between this little gap here.
Attack! For Carthage! For Carthage!
Wow, I'm winning decisively here against the Hastati. And the thing with Hastati is that that's still warrior class. Wow, I managed to rout this unit here, cavalry. Maybe I can route this unit also and then get away from this spear unit, but he's now routed this citizen cavalry also, so he has a big advantage in this. So oh shit, I don't really have cavalry. So I'm routing this Hastati, and I routed this Rudian infantry. And try to make a flanking charge. What's this? This is the Libyan infantry. Yeah, I'm still using them to try to protect myself. Making a new flanking charge here. And I spotted that this is a decent target for the Libyan infantry. But again, my cavalry shattered here. But I got my sacred band. Hopefully they can regroup with the general for a last stand. Oh, and this is the elite
For mighty Carthage!
allied,
Warriors of Carthage!
the elite allied hoplites that is available to Rome if you have the auxiliary barracks. I generally don't. The only reason I would get an auxiliary barracks as Rome in Italia is to get access to the Sardinian archers in the very beginning at least. Infantry wise, rely on Romans all the way.
Cut them down! Charge!
Now my like Libyan infantry.
Armor's fury! Go back!
He tried to flank me, but I turned around. And now it's like a very big. My hoplites are still relatively intact, but
Back, warriors, back!
yes, it's a rather brutal engagement. But these Sacred Band hoplites are doing well. But my main concern is, of course, that he will slam into but his cavalry is a bit shattered all over the place. But he's breaking up units. This Gallic mercenary warband is getting cut down. But so I'm expecting to lose, but I'm just trying to kill as much as possible. My Libyan infantry again is attacking its flanks here, and actually rack up a little small number of kills. Like, look, they've lost over 200 men and got 11 kills. That's totally worth it.
Bring them, Ayarata! Forward! Warriors of Carthage!
I'm trying to butcher as much of these melee infantry as possible.
Withdraw!
And now the main goal now for me is to reconnect my my infantry here. But as you can see,
Engage!
even the Libyan infantry, due to their numbers, can do quite a number now. And I'm trying to block off these or protect my general.
For glory! As you say!
And he's still using the remaining javelins here.
Feel their blood!
I think he's using it against my general.
Double time! As you wish!
Using a rally. I know I will lose this one, so. Oh, head-on charge. Shouldn't really do much. Everyone looks devastating, right? Well, not really. So I shattered that one. But you can see I don't really have much left in terms of army. But this was quite a good battle nevertheless, and quite enjoyable. You just have to accept the fact that you may not like the AI armies that you're fighting with, but you sort of have to like improvise and yeah, these javelins are really devastating against my general. But maybe, just maybe we can hold. Maybe.
Keep a steady pace.
And now the army losses kick in here, and then he's going to.
Back, withdraw.
Yeah, and now he's going to chase down the units. But overall, I will still say that I did quite a number on him. Considering that so many of my units were vastly inferior of his. It's a close defeat. But you can see that kill-wise, the hoplites did very well, except this one. This one should have done much more. It could have been like if I had it in the center or something to, it would be much more utilized, and then have this Libyan hoplite in the flank perhaps. But overall, this army, it did its job. It's just that the cavalry did not really match his. And that allowed him to break it. And then can wrap around. But look at my Libyan infantry. They still did, some damage. Not the best, but much better than they would in a pure frontal engagement. Yeah, Libyan archers, they did their job. Too bad they did not wipe out the unit completely, but they still took the arrows. This Qatari was really good. And these mercenaries are more for charging. You charge in and retreat and attack again and again and again. Or flank, really. Like hop by its center and then these for flanking. These more can do quite a number. But I thought I did well. I don't think this is like a serious army from him. I think this was more of a guard army and then using lots of allied troops to help with the replenishment. But thank you for watching this, and I hope the sound is better now. Because I was told that sometimes the voice could not be heard, but it's because it's my first video. I could not really, know exactly what settings to use. So I hope this is better, and thank you for watching.